in Gaza and the West Bank are locked into Gaza, the West Bank. Some people say, so what? I mean, why do they need to go into Israel anyway? Well, we have to look at the context. Since 1967, the Israelis have confiscated over 60% of Palestinian land in the West Bank. And the Palestinian economy was mostly land-based. Without the land, Palestinians were forced to be day laborers in Israel. And that was a primary source of income. In addition, under occupation, the Israeli military never allowed the Palestinians to develop an independent and viable economy in the West Bank and Gaza. So Palestinians were always dependent on money and income from working in Israel, most of them. In 1993, with the Oslo process, unfortunately, the Israelis implemented the closure, which shut the doors to Israel. And so hundreds and thousands of Palestinians suddenly became unemployed. And there was no alternative source of employment. During the Oslo process, unemployment tripled. That's during the peace process. Unemployment tripled. And by the beginning of the Intifada, we have 1 million Palestinians living under the poverty line. And this is not a poor country. This is a country that always had, a reasonable standard of living. I would lift the closure. To me, the closure is a source of this humility and of a source of the need to resort to anything, to using your body, anything to protest the oppression. A man with 7 kids and no job, nothing to feed his kids, he will eventually go blow himself up. We've already seen the phenomenon of women now going and blowing themselves up. Why? I mean, they're using the last thing left to them to scream out, to protest. They're using their bodies. And I would lift the closure because, and just for an example, in the first Intifada, there was no closure. Palestinians were in and out of the West Bank. They were in Jerusalem, in Tel Aviv, in Haifa, working all over. All over. They were at the beaches. There wasn't one suicide bombing. Suicide bombing started with the closure.